up, y'all? Everybody good? All right. So today, how many of you have seen me before? Like, raise your hand if you've seen me before. I want you to keep your hands up. Everyone look around. And the people that have never seen me before, let's just identify them, because I think a few of you know a little bit about me, but I'm going to share a little bit more about who I am and why I feel like I'm the perfect speaker today to talk about Convention of Champs. I'm going to pitch you on why I mean real quick, all right? So look, this was me, okay? I used to run an organization that Hubert considers the practice company, World Marketing Alliance, World Financial Group. I was the president and chief executive officer. That was my first convention. That was me on stage. There were 24,000 people in the audience. And I know within the next 2 years, everyone in this room is fully committed to having a convention in the Grand Garden Arena with 15 to 24,000 people, right? All right. What you don't know about me, though, even those of you that know me, what you don't know about me is this is also me. Okay? I'm not joking. This is me. If you want mine in the street, you're like, what is that dude? That is Tom Dempsey, the 18-year-old, playing on a team that was a Division II NCAA championship team called Southern New Hampshire University. It used to be called New Hampshire College back then. But look, I feel like most of you don't know that I, like you, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. My dad said to me, hey man, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you're a good athlete. The bad news is I can't pay for your costs. You're going to have to go do it yourself. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I worked my butt off and got a full athletic scholarship. I got my 4 years of education paid for me through my blood, sweat, and tears on the field. I was eligible to start in 101 games. I didn't start the first game my freshman year. And I was on a team full of dudes all I can talk about another day in time, but I'm telling you, they were from every corner of the world. You name it, they were from every corner of the world. The guy that played left fullback, which I didn't play left fullback, I played center midfield. The guy at left fullback went down in the first 10 minutes of the very first game, my freshman year. My coach looks down the bench and says, Dempsey, you're going out left fullback. I'm like, okay. So I warm up, jog out there, never came off the field for the next 4 years. All right? So you never know when you're going to get tapped on the shoulder, right? Champions just step up, they rise, right? But I will tell you this, most proud moment of me is when my teammates voted me team captain, and then at the end of the season, they named me unsung hero. That was the dude that did all the work and got none of the credit for the rest of the team. Is that you? Is that you in this organization? Putting your head down and grinding? Because when you work hard, good things happen, and this was my good thing. I played 3 years of professional soccer for a team called the New Hampshire Phantoms in the United Soccer League. I thought I was good in high school, and then I went to college and realized I really wasn't that good. Right? I was the low man on the totem pole, and the game felt really fast to me, but after mid-season, everything started to slow down. It's kind of like you're a new associate in this organization. You feel like the world is going so fast, and you're not exactly sure how you're going to keep pace. Then all of a sudden, everything starts to slow down, and then, sure enough, it feels like it's in slow-mo. Well, this team actually lost in 2 national championship games. But I will tell you, I learned more from those 2 losses that have carried me forward that taught me what it truly was to be a Convention of Champions. So you guys know that there's a World Cup going on right now, right? Everyone seen that going on? All right, if you haven't seen it, Argentina just beat England. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the lessons. I know. Are we going to do this? Authentic. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the lessons that I think I've taken away. When I was watching a couple of these games, I've had the fortunate opportunity, I went to 5 games during this World Cup, okay? So just fortunate, right place, right time. People just decided this was a good move. So I'm going to tell you the things that I learned that I thought, man, you know what would be great? I'm going to tie the World Cup back into everything that we're here to talk about today. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is having a goal enough? Because many of you join this organization and you're going to come up on this stage, and I actually just heard a little bit of it today. You give me your stated goal. I am going to be X by Y, right? And goals are great. If they are internal versus external, it means a lot of different things. But you know what? Every single person that was on every single team on the far left-hand side during the group stages when there were 32 teams, every single one of them thought that they were going to win the World Cup. And then what winds up happening is you get to the round of 32, then you get to the round of 16. When you get to the knockout rounds, it gets real. It's no different than when we recruit a lot of people here, and they just fall away because they don't have what it takes. They didn't have the things that it took. So performance survives. Everything else is just talk, okay? I know one guy that actually survived. This is Hubert Humphrey's hierarchy on the wall. This is from his book, right? This is from the Power of Compounding Period. And so Hubert wasn't ever in this business. He wasn't just here in the business. The business is in Hubert. He has a passion. So you can be here and you can be in this business, which means you may be the smartest when it comes to product, you may be the smartest when it comes to all these different moving parts of the business, but if you are not committed, if the alarm clock goes off in the morning and you hesitate to let your feet hit the floor, you are just in this business. The business is not in you yet. And by the way, it can happen over time. Just because you don't have to feel it right now, or like it's all-consuming and it's everything you think about. Like I'm telling you, I've talked to Aki, Raghu, Prashant, I've talked to these guys at all hours of the day, Monday through Sunday, and it doesn't matter. They are fully in. They are committed to being the best that they can possibly be. So is Hubert Humphrey. So the question is, do you have a goal or do you have a passion? Because you can build that passion. The second thing I'm going to talk about is running a system. So this is a guy named Thomas Tuchel. He is the losing coach from today. England just lost, right? But he said something that actually hit me. He was being interviewed and he said, guys, you know, it's interesting. The system matters, right? And I know every single one of you is going to hear me talk about the system every single time I'm up on stage. The system matters. It matters a lot. But the system only matters if the players are bought into it. We can try to teach you the LFS. Like every single one of you can read. 90% of you are smarter than I am. 90% of you are actually engineers of some kind, or PhDs, or whatever. I graduated from a liberal arts college in New Hampshire. I just talked to you guys about that you've never heard of, right? I'm standing on this stage. The difference, frankly, between winning and losing is when you have a team and you know what the system is. And the system, by the way, is exactly it. It is aligned to how you make money in doing what we do in this room. The system will only work if the players do, right? And so for me, when I actually heard Thomas Tuchel say this, I'm like, man, if we only had a system here. Well, we do have a system, right? But the idea behind the system, the reason that the system works, and it works really, really well, the reason why Hubert Humphrey is 40 years deep in starting 3 different companies and having success in every single one of them, is that because there's a little book called The Power of Habit. I talked a couple of years ago about it. But if you haven't read The Power of Habit, I would say pick it up and read it. Systems actually do 3 things. They reduce decision fatigue, meaning if you're in a meeting and you are having to think about all different things, all the moving parts of the meeting, and what do I say here? If you have to think about that, you've already lost. It will just reduce your decision fatigue, which allows you to focus on a higher level of play. You heard me say that when I was a freshman, right? And I was new on the soccer team, and I had just moved to college. The same drill when I went to the professional league. Like, it felt like it was moving really fast for me because I wasn't up to speed. And that's exactly how it feels for a new associate when they're doing a ride-along, right? Before they get the referral fees, right? Legitimately, that's how it feels. And it basically enables you to think on your feet. There are times when you're sitting, when someone's doing a ride-along with you, and when you get in the car, and they're like, how did you know how to say that? And you're like, I was just able to focus on what the objection was behind what they were actually saying. Because most of the time when people throw objections out, Victor just talked about the 3 most popular objections that we get. They're not real objections. They're false objections. They're just to throw up, a wall to see how hard you want to actually get the sale done. Like legitimately, they don't know. They're just saying things that